The wind howled outside my window as I drove down the desolate highway, my tires humming a monotonous tone. It was past midnight, and I was eager to get home. My eyes had begun to sting from staring at the asphalt for hours. With a coffee mug in one hand and the wheel in the other, I pressed on. Just then, my phone buzzed, a notification. When I glanced down, I swerved, narrowly missing a figure on the road. My heart jumped into my throat. My car's headlights briefly illuminated a face, pale and motionless before it vanished into the darkness. Shaken, I pulled over. What was a person doing on a highway this late? More importantly, why did they seem so lifeless? I considered calling the police, but just as quickly as the thought entered my mind, my phone died. The car lights flickered. A chill ran down my spine. I started the car and continued down the highway, anxiety gnawing at me. I needed to get home. After about a mile, I heard it, a whisper, soft but close, as if someone were in the back seat. I jerked my head around, but nothing was there, just my imagination, I assured myself. The whispering returned, growing louder and more pronounced. This time, it sounded like my own voice, echoing words I had spoken earlier in the day. Conversations with my family, a phone call with my boss, my own words yet tainted with an indescribable malice. I floored the gas pedal. The car rattled as I zoomed past the seemingly endless array of trees lining the road. Then, in a surreal moment of horror, my own voice emanated from the radio, speaking words I had never said. "You can't escape this. You're mine." Before I could react, the car lights flickered off and on. Each time they illuminated the road, the same emotionless face appeared closer to the car. Panic surged through me. I slammed on the brakes and swerved, veering off the road and crashing into a tree. Dazed, I stumbled out of the car. My head was spinning, and I had a gash on my forehead. My car was totaled, smoke billowing from the hood. I was stranded, but I felt an overwhelming urge to flee, as if being chased by something sinister. In a staggering run, I followed the road on foot, guided only by the moonlight. My own whispers now filled the air around me, surrounding me in an oral nightmare. Just when I thought I couldn't take another step, I saw it. A payphone, old and rusted, standing alone like a relic. Seizing the moment, I lunged toward it. I picked up the receiver. It was dead. But then it buzzed to life, and once again I heard my own voice. "Did you think you could escape?" Suddenly, the night fell silent. I dropped the receiver, my heart pounding. It was then that I realized the whispers, the figure, they were all gone. Had it been a hallucination? A product of my weary mind? I felt an eerie calm wash over me. I had to keep moving. I continued down the road until I saw headlights in the distance. A truck pulled over, and a concerned driver offered me a ride to the nearest town. As I stepped into the truck, feeling a sense of relief, my phone buzzed back to life. It was a notification, the same one from earlier that night, a warning about high levels of carbon monoxide in my area, affecting perception and causing hallucinations. As the truck drove away, I looked back at the highway. Could it have been carbon monoxide that conjured those nightmarish events? As I pondered this, a whisper floated in from the open window, my own voice tinged with malevolence. "Oh, you're not alone." My heart sank as I realized that some echoes once started never really go away, and as I looked into the rearview mirror, I saw it once more, that pale, emotionless face, now sitting quietly in the back seat of the truck staring right at me. I've never been superstitious. Sure, I've read about haunted places, mythical creatures, and otherworldly encounters, but I never gave them much thought. Until that fateful night on Cobalt Road, I was driving back home after visiting my sister across the state. It was around 1 a.m. and I was cruising along, my eyes occasionally drifting to the GPS. Cobalt Road was my quickest route, a lonely stretch of asphalt that snaked through dense woods. My car's headlights were the only source of illumination for miles. About halfway down Cobalt Road, I saw him, a man standing by the roadside, waving me down. He was average-looking, neither menacing nor entirely benign, but something about him sent chills down my spine. Being a female driver alone at night, I should have sped past him. But against my better judgment, something compelled me to stop. I rolled down the window just an inch. "Need help?" I asked, my voice tinged with reluctance. "My car broke down a mile back. Could you give me a lift to the nearest town?" He seemed desperate. Something felt off, but I dismissed it as paranoia. I unlocked the doors and let him in. As soon as he sat, the temperature in the car seemed to drop. Goosebumps prickled my skin. "What's your name?" I asked. "Elijah," he said, staring ahead. We drove in silence. I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that settled in my stomach. My eyes glanced at the rearview mirror where I caught him staring intently at me. Our eyes met, and he looked away. "Right here," he finally said, pointing toward a dirt path that appeared out of nowhere. It didn't seem like it led to any town, but I was too unnerved to argue. I pulled over, eager to get him out of my car. Elijah stepped out, looked back and said, "Thank you, you've done me a great service." Before I could respond, he walked into the woods and disappeared into the darkness. Eager to leave, I sped away. But within minutes, something bizarre happened. My GPS started glitching, the screen flickering between Cobalt Road and unknown locations. An icy panic gripped me as the car's interior lights began flickering in sync. That's when I heard it, laughter. A malevolent cackle filled the car, coming from the back seat. I dared to look in the rearview mirror, and my heart stopped. Elijah was there, sitting in the back seat, his eyes glowing a demonic red. I screamed and swerved wildly, the car skidding off the road and crashing into a tree. Dazed and trembling, I looked around. Elijah was gone. Ignoring my bruised body, I got out and ran as fast as my legs would carry me. Eventually, I found a house and banged on the door until a terrified couple answered and let me in. They called the police, who arrived and escorted me back to my wrecked car. It was empty, of course, but what they found sent shivers down everyone's spine. In the backseat, burnt into the upholstery, was the outline of a man. Later, they told me that Cobalt Road was known for paranormal activity. Legends spoke of a demon named Elijah who roamed the woods, hitching rides to claim souls. No one had ever seen him and lived to tell the tale. Well, I saw him. And as much as I'd like to dismiss that night as a hallucination, I can't. Because every time I close my eyes, I see Elijah in my rearview mirror, hear his laughter, and feel his malevolent presence. So, consider this a warning. If you're ever driving on Cobalt Road and see a man asking for a lift, whatever you do, don't stop. Keep driving and don't look back, because some passengers, once picked up, never truly leave.